What's up everyone, I'm Dan and thanks to Electronic Moon for the review code for Bear No Grudge on the Nintendo Switch systems. Bear No Grudge feels like a game pulled straight out of a weird, late night Nintendo 64 fever dream, and honestly that's part of its charm. Created by a solo developer, this chaotic action platformer throws absolutely everything it can at the wall to see what sticks. You play as a bear seeking revenge against the corrupt delivery corporation Forest Inc. after their reckless actions destroy the environment and leave your friend injured. The setup is goofy, setting the tone for a game that never takes itself too seriously. Across 12 different levels, you'll blast enemies, drive carts, ride skateboards, race hovercrafts and tackle all kinds of strange gameplay shifts that constantly keep you guessing. The biggest strength of Bear No Grudge is easily the variety. One minute you're in a third-person shooter section taking down enemies and smashing vending machines, the next you're skating through hazards or speeding around in a car. It genuinely feels like the developer had a notebook full of ideas and decided to include every single one of them. While not every gameplay style feels fully polished, the constant switching helps keep things entertaining. There's also a strong retro vibe throughout the whole game. The visuals, movement and overall structure feel heavily inspired by late 90s platformers, especially those N64 era games that were ambitious despite their limitations. If you're someone who enjoys that era of gaming, there's a good chance the awkwardness here will feel more nostalgic than frustrating. The environments themselves are surprisingly interactive too, which adds a nice sense of experimentation. Smashing objects, hunting for collectibles and poking around levels for hidden secrets gives the game a playful energy. That said, Bear No Grudge is definitely rough around the edges. The controls can feel clunky, particularly during movement heavy sections, and some vehicles are awkward to steer. Early on I encountered an issue where my cart flips over at the beginning of a section and couldn't be corrected, forcing a restart. It's the kind of bug that perfectly sums up the experience. Frustrating in the moment, but almost weirdly amusing because of how chaotic the game already is. Technical hiccups appear fairly regularly too. Objects can clip into scenery and in some cases items getting stuck can actually break progression. Thankfully these issues never made the game completely unplayable during my time with it, but patience is definitely required. You have to approach Bear No Grudge with the understanding that this is a smaller indie project made by a solo developer. The gameplay itself is serviceable rather than amazing, which amusingly lines up with the game's own self-aware humour, describing it as pretty okay gunplay. Combat works well enough to keep things moving, but it's really bizarre situations and level variety that carry the whole experience rather than the shooting mechanics themselves. What surprised me most is how much personality the game has despite its flaws. There's an infectious sense of creativity throughout every level. Even when something doesn't quite work mechanically, you can appreciate the ambition behind it. The humour lands more often than not, and the overall tone keeps things lighthearted even when the gameplay stumbles. Bear No Grudge won't be for everyone. Players looking for polished mechanics and technical perfection will likely struggle with its clunky controls and occasional bugs, but if you enjoy quirky indie games with big ideas, goofy humour and that slightly janky retro feel, there's definitely fun to be had here. At its core, this is a fun, bare bones game, pun absolutely intended. It's messy, ambitious, strange and surprisingly charming. For fans of weird retro inspired adventures that aren't afraid to experiment, Bear No Grudge is worth checking out, technical flaws and all. Bear No Grudge is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $5.99 in the UK and $6.99 in the US. Thanks again to Electronic Moon for the review code. Thanks to you all for watching, and until next time.
I see the bear! Charge! Ouch! Ugh.